Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Tonight, we've got another match of the Grand Finals of the Zelda 2 Max Rando Tournament 2025 here. We've got Sawneyrath versus Chadbert. I'm Star, and joining me on comps tonight is Nightcrawler. How are you doing?
I'm great. Happy to be here again. Was a little disappointed I couldn't make it for the last time it got called out, but getting here for the Grand Finals, second game, that's exciting.
Yeah, should be a fun one here. This is game 2 in a best of 5. Sawneyrath took game 1, but no one's going home tonight. We are guaranteed at least 3 games, so we'll see if Chadbert evens it up to 1-1 or if Sawneyrath pulls a 2-0 lead here. This should be a pretty fun one. It is Max Rando, so anything and everything goes. We don't know what the flags are. We're going to find out here. We could be here for 5 minutes. We could be here for 2 hours. I'm hoping it won't be 2 hours, I'll be honest.
With the compression on Sonny's side, it kind of looked like Link was wearing a floppy beret, and it's flipping back and forth. But I guess it's just normal Link.
In any case, here, gonna start our runners off, and we'll be off shortly here. Let's take the same thing twice in a row. And let's get a prediction going on who do you think is going to win?
Yeah, Z2R is very wholesome, guys. It's it's the game that abuses us all together, right? Together. By the way, nice to see you, Rubes, Natara, Irene, the old faithful. Gax Smash, Demarine, Alan the Man, and True Lotus. Nice to see y'all.
Yep.
All right.
Glad to have a good turnout despite the late hour here. Okay, we've got a vanilla-like start. We're not vanilla-like, vanilla shuffled.
Ooh. Yeah. All right, and we have no upstab or downstab, lots of health, plenty of lives, and not many gems.
Yeah, this is a 2-gemmer, 8 heart, 5 life start with spell, and shield, and fairy. Okay, okay.
God. Wait, sorry. Did they start with, why is Chadbert leaving? Did they start? Hold on.
They did not start with fairy, but fairy's in Saria, which is right next to start. So they basically start with it.
Yeah, but Sonny said, nah. Nah, I don't need fairy. I guess, it makes sense. Chadbert, he knows Vanilla Shuffled. He knows he's going to check down here. Then he can up an A and go do other stuff. He can do that stuff again, so he's not losing any time, really.
Mm-mm.
Unless this is like a pass-through down here, that would suck.
I mean, we've kind of got to have a pass-through. We either need to go just get Fairy to fly through Saria to the other side, wherever that's at, or the other encounter down there, which is Stonehenge and Vanilla, needs to be a passer, because we're kind of stuck in Nowhere's Land here in Parappa.
So the part you said about the part we said about Z2R being wholesome, and I said yes, it punishes us all together. Guess what we get to do now, guys?
Grind Fairy until it's castable.
Yes, a good old grind.
Although I'm not sure if that's the 2-screen bridge that actually can connect somewhere as the other encounter. But yeah, we're gonna be grinding for a while because Fairy costs 118 at Magic 1. For those unfamiliar, the map we've got we play with full map rando in basically every Z2R seed. Playing with a completely vanilla map would become an absolute snooze fest very, very quickly. So we do map rando of different varieties. There's different themes, which we call biomes. It looks like it was 90-something fairy at Magic 2, still not castable for Chadbert. We need it to be 64 or cheaper.
That could take a while, guys. that could be like Magic 5.
It could be, yeah. We might be here for a bit.
So those red diras are going to be...
Okay, 86, actually. I can't read. Still not cheap.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to get to
Oh.
64.
Yeah.
Which
we are going to
sometimes it
see
skips
if
levels.
this bridge goes anywhere, although I don't think it... Yeah, okay, so we
should,
can't take
right?
this bridge, so we'll see where this
Oh.
dumps us out at.
Oh, I'm stupid. I feel dumb now.
It's okay. We still might need to go grind fairy at some point. And there is the possibility this bridge takes us someplace entirely unuseful. Like, potentially that!
Potentially that!
Yeah, okay, we're dead.
Now, I mean, it could be a really great item, but that great item is not going to help with the grind.
We are hard... Well, a magic jar would help. That's what they want to see.
Yeah, magic jar, a 500-point P-bag would actually be kind of nice.
They want either a magic jar or 500-point P-bag to help with this whole we need to cast fairy, because, yeah, that was my second thought, is wait, this could be something, but it could also take us to the island, which dead ends into a cave, which, yippee! That said, the magic jar does make it cheaper. Magic 2 does have fairy at 86, but it still could take a couple of magic levels. Fairy is not guaranteed to drop 6 points on magic 3.
Yeah, it's 16 points per jar. So going from 64, which is the starting amount, and adding 16, you get 80. So still short.
Never mind, Chadbert, it just got Magic 3, and it is 61 fairy at Magic 3. There we go.
There we go. Not too bad. We could have been here a while, though.
We really could have, because we've seen that before. But yeah, this map is a vanilla shuffled map, back to what I was talking about before I got utterly sidetracked. So the overall layout fundamentally is the same as the original game, except for all the major landmarks are shuffled. So the palace with each other. Palaces, towns, caves, certain special encounter tiles. Those are all random.
Oh, P-bag, 300 points. Alright, so castable for Sawny now, too.
Yep.
And comfortably castable.
Which is very nice for him, especially because he's slightly... Oh, this is rude.
Yeah.
Alright. We're just going... We're going hiking today.
Yeah, follow the yellow brick road. It's a long road.
What I was going to say, though, is that magic jar could be really nice for Sawneyrath, though, because this is a 2-gem seed where we are not likely going to be able to get super high levels. It looks like we've got kind of okay experience. 300-point P-bag is not awful, but it's also not a 500 bag. So we might not be getting a lot of levels, and it's very nice to be able... And Chadbert, in all honesty, especially if this overall is going to be this linear, might not be getting back to that magic jar anytime soon.
Right.
As we go for more walking!
And we're just going to walk across this bridge. You know. That's just how we're doing it. No, you know, bridge thing where we... Yeah, see, here we go. It's so stupid.
Wait, this seems hilarious.
You have the hammer, Chadbert.
I would have checked that hammer blocked cave next to the connector cave. Ooh, 1-ups in the drop pool is pretty nice.
But yeah, this map is playing jokes on them. It's like, oh, you thought you were done with this?
Oh my goodness.
Now, of course, he could have rafted back and then continued walking, but, you know, it's a little pointless.
Kind of dropped him in about the same place anyway, as we end up on, oh hey, River Canyon East. Life in Old Kasuda, which you might as well pick up.
Yeah, you don't have enough life here, so...
And Sawneyrath gets well, I know Z1R calls it a Y-Force. I'm not sure what you'd call it here, but whatever the equivalent is, you are forced into that raft tile.
Yep. And Chadbert is on beep strats. Zombie mode. Basically, you get hit, but and it will take all your life away, but it doesn't calculate your actual death. unless you have 0 hit points on screen and get hit, right? So, and lose health. So when you go off screen, even though it depletes your HP down to 0, it's not going to keep deprecating it when you go back into an encounter. So you can have 0 HP like that.
By the way, dash here in the Nibiru for Chadbert, that was also on the east, right next to Old Kasuto. And Magic Jar number 2 for Sawneyrath here in Bagu's Woods, basically.
Yeah, I bet Chadbert wishes he had that other magic container, but this is going to be a pretty short game, all things considered. Unless, I mean, this could turn into a real glove hunt.
It could, or a boots hunt, possibly. This River Canyons can be a mess.
Yep, absolutely.
We're deciding to take a look on this maze, which is not a bad idea, given that it can be potentially 2 pretty quick items, and can be some useful palace info, too. If he finds, like, P1 here, he might just go beat it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Maze Island. Maze Island's great. Death Mountain is better because people hate it, and I like it.
Yeah, 1 up for Sawneyrath. We are going to have quite a lot of junk items in this item pool, given that we started with 8 heart containers and the Raft, the Hammer, and 2 of our spell items, so...
Yeah, so finding that glove might be a frustrating experience for these runners.
Yep. Hey, Jay Cooper raiding with a party of 17. Welcome in, Raiders. We're about 10 minutes into Grand Finals Game 2 here between our runners. Seed's got jokes as we find P4 on the maze.
Yeah. The Seed does have jokes. Oh, not looking for the item, eh, Chadbert?
Reflect is in Rando today on Sawneyrath's side. Might as well see where the trophy is, as I totally missed what's in DM. Whoops. Chat?
Oh yeah, I missed that too. Sorry, I was I was looking at Chad's side at the time. Glove and DM, that's quite a hint.
Oh, that is a fantastic hint for Sawneyrath.
Now guys, I told you DM is good. DM is like one of those eldritch gods that, you know, they're gonna destroy the world, but you know, if you're the worshipper, you're the last one to be destroyed, right? So it's that kind of relationship you gotta have with DM.
Yeah. Ooh, Thunder here in Rauru at the western raft spot located in Vanilla.
Oh, interesting.
So Sawneyrath is suddenly working with a lot of information. He knows where Reflect is. It's a 2-gemmer, so that's why he didn't get the trophy hit, most likely. He knows where the glove is. He just needs to go find that glove, basically, and then he's probably going to just start digging palaces, is what I expect.
Thunder!
I did not catch how much Thunder costs there. Whoops.
I think it was like 101? I might be mistaken. I just saw it for a second.
I didn't catch it at all. Meetup for Chadbert. GP is at the Vanilla Nibiru location today.
Man, that's a good spot for a GP. I like it.
And Chadbert's gonna go pick up either upstab or downstab here. Which one that is will be random.
Either way, it's gonna be welcome.
Yep, 104 Fairy 104 Thunder, sorry, at Magic 3. Completely uncastable. He has 96 magic points right now. He needs 100 he needs 1 more or some extra magic levels to cast that.
Downstab is downstab, and we have a high 5 between the 2 players.
Yep. There is another palace right next to me here, so we're going to probably take a look in that and see what it is.
I wonder if... Yeah, I feel like Chadbert's going to do a little bit more overworld exploration. His expression does not tell me I'm going into a palace right now.
I mean, without a glove, well, P1 might change that.
Yeah, I guess that's... Okay, it was P1 after all, so yeah. Well...
You're right here, it's a 2-gemmer. You might as well just see if you can clear it and find a glove or something in here.
Yeah.
Both runners also know it is River Canyon East, so a pair of boots would honestly be really nice in here. Chadbert is thinking he might find his glove in here. We know it's not here, but from
That
his
would be
perspective, that it would be really nice if it was.
Yeah, it would be interesting if he searched through it and found an item that's required to get to DM. We haven't seen DM, so
Nope. It should be connected to the west by. It's likely connected to the west somewhere, but
True. Yeah.
Actually, I think it has to be a bridge tile. I think it has to be the bridge because I believe we've seen both connector caves and the raft, so it has to be the bridge. Where that bridge is, I'm not sure, as we find Magic Jar in 1 is kind of not the thing we wanted at this point, I'll be honest.
He wants it, though. I don't blame him.
I mean, we'll pick it up because we're here, but it's not going to give them immediate progression. It makes Thunder castable for Sawneyrath for what little that's worth.
Yeah. And Sonny,
it is nicer for Chadbert though, since this is his first. Sawneyrath has picked up 2 others already.
Yeah, I'm kind of saying that with all those magic tuners, Sonny has a bit of an advantage here. That's pretty useful, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say Sawneyrath in general has a bit of the lead right now, with both the extra magic jars and the information on that glove, right?
Yeah, big deal.
Because Chadbert on the other side spent more of his time looking into Maze, which produced not a whole lot of anything, and time looking on the east, which also didn't yield a whole lot of interest, as it were. Red Iron Knuckle Drippers are giving 50 points of experience. That is not a good deal.
Yeah, not worth the time.
No.
Unless you're right next to a level. No.
But yeah, these runners are not going to be grinding levels off of these drippers today. That ain't worth it.
That 200 point P bag. You know what? Actually, that 200 point P bag might have been worth falling into lava. But it's better.
They've got 5 lives, and he was fine to burn one, especially in the 2-gemmer where you're not going to get a lot of levels anyway. I think it was the right call to get that P bag, even if he did have to take a death to it. It's not like he's on a 2 life seed.
Yeah, and Sonic can cast Fairy twice, I think now, right? Maybe not. It's still 61, right?
Still 61, and he only has 7 magic jars. He needs 8 to cast it twice.
True, yeah. Alright, there goes...
Because 7 magic jars is 112 magic points.
I was kind of evaluating it visually in my head and not mathematically, so, you know.
You're talking to the tax accountant on comms.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
It'll work. We'll make it work.
Math is kind of my thing.
How about I owe you like 15 magic points? Can I cast it then? I'll pay you 4 extra magic points in interest.
And 61 magic points still for Fairy and Magic 4, so yeah, we're not changing that. I don't know if Thunder Drafting costed Magic 4 at all, but it is castable one way or the other right now with 7 magic jars for Sawneyrath, so it's not a big point.
Right.
Yeah, I suspect Sawneyrath is actually, because this is vanilla shuffled west. We are not going to find a bridge here. The bridge is going to have to be on either the maze or on the east, so I think that's why Sawneyrath is looking for it.
Yeah.
Because he's seen all the other continental connectors. He knows that the east cannot. He knows that the bridge must lead to DM, and because this is a vanilla shuffled west, the only continental connectors will be both continental connector caves and the raft. We've seen all 3 anyway, but none of them go to DM, so we're going not there.
So
this Maze Island layout is kind of gross, though.
Yeah, it is. Scorpions.
Also, Sawneyrath just. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
So Scorpions give 300 experience each, and there were 2 of them at the beginning, and they died to Thunder. So that was a cool 600 that might be repeatable later on in this maze.
Yeah, that could be pretty nice, especially given that this is going to be a bit of a dry seed on levels. This is also Sawneyrath's first time really digging the maze, so this is an opportunity for him to, speaking of things, find items like the cross of questionable use.
Yep. I was gonna say it'd be really funny if Reflect was blocked by a magic item, but I don't think it is, right? I mean, it's
It
not. Oh, is it in Rudo?
it's in Rudo, so it
Okay.
is.
Okay.
That said, also, I believe we've seen like 95% of the coast on this maze. I don't think the bridge is here.
So where are we going?
Unless it's on the extreme northwest corner of the map, and which is pretty unlikely. I'm fairly sure that we're going back to the east to find the bridge.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I forgot we've been to the east.
We have, not for terribly long, but we did see it. It is a river canyon, so it's possible we might need to find the boots somewhere to clear it. Chadbert's still looking around. I don't know if he got the hint for where the glove is.
Man, it's like
That
Breath of the
one.
Wild on Chadbert's side. All those chasms.
Oh yeah, Bagu's Woods does tend to look a little bit silly in Vanilla Shuffled. Because there's a whole bunch of trap tiles, plus Bagu himself in Vanilla, and in Vanilla Shuffled, you tend to end up with a whole lot of caves.
Alright, so Chadbert is doing something that I think, technically speaking, is not wise, but I agree with it. Something about it tells me this is good. This is a good idea. But not him. He's like, nah. Or he might want to get his magic back. I think that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah. Cooper also saying in chat, Troopers are better than 346. Yeah, possible, although that initial fairy block, or key block, might be a bit annoying.
Yeah, the initial key block is going to be annoying. And if I were him, I'd try to get as many magic levels in here as possible and ignore attack and life. But I know a lot of runners like their life levels, so... Then again, I guess after they clear one more palace, they don't really need fairy very much after this. Because they've already got one palace
Maybe
cleared.
not, but they might want to use fairy and GP to get through some rooms faster.
For sure.
As that's a hard glove block in that top of that elevator for Chadbert, so we're not going that way.
Unless, oh god, dying on the Mew, this is gonna take a while. But there's a little statue that I think might have a jar. It might not be this particular version of the room though.
Yeah,
but that
right.
panther head over to the left can have a jar, I think.
Three-Head Rock here on the southwest end of the east, and the southwest and southeast sides of the map are actually connected, which is pretty unusual in a river canyon.
Jay Cooper informing, yeah, he did try stabbing it. Maybe he didn't hit it, or maybe it's just the wrong version of the room, because I think there's like two rooms that are very similar.
Sawneyrath finding the other of 3 or 6, as we see Jumpin' Nukasudo. Sawneyrath is more interested in the item here, probably. He'd really like to find a pair of boots, is the thing he wants. Any key might be nice, but he really wants those boots. And instead gets a candle, which he's probably doesn't really care about at this point, honestly.
Chad picking up a free life in this palace, that's actually great for him, because he desperately needs more casts of fairy, and he can't do that on his magic.
Yeah. And true, I suppose that the Dingdicadea makes Candle a little less bad, but it's maybe not the most desirable. The thing you probably would have wanted the most might have been boots.
Candle, I mean, TM's not that. None of the caves are that bad, except for, I guess, except for Medicine Cave. That one's kind of bad, but...
Yeah. 200 point P-back, though, is just a womp womp.
My
Chadbert's
instincts
found...
have failed me. I feel so betrayed right now. But there was a bridge up there. Was that not a bridge?
No, that would have been not the Continental Connector Bridge. I think that was a normal bridge.
Okay. Dang, I feel so... Man. Usually when I make a call like that, I'm actually correct. But, nope.
Does anyone in chat know if Chadbert saw the glove hint? I know it was in Rando, I just don't remember if he saw it.
I don't think he did.
I don't think so either. But...
I'm not sure if he's been to Rando.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I can't quite remember where it was.
Oh wait, this is Death Mountain.
No, this ain't.
Oh, sorry. We got the River Devil. Yeah, sorry. I was like, there's so many caves, surely it must be Death Mountain. No. But these caves might be useful for clearing to the other side of the river.
Yeah, unfortunately it looks like the far northern side of the map on both sides, which has to have the bridge, not sure if it's northwest or northeast because I can't see that far north, might be hard boots blocked.
Alright, we got a town here. What's it gonna be? Okay. What do we got? Shield?
We started with shield. They're just here to pick up stab up.
Oh yeah, upstep, good. And they're both here at the same time, of course.
Yep.
Makes sense.
The thing I want to see is the cave just north and west of here, because if... Yeah, I was going to say that doesn't look like it's going to be a pass-through. I believe, based on what I've seen of this map, our DM is hard boots locked.
Sure, you can.
And unfortunately, those boots can be anywhere.
Yeah.
Because they're not there. 2 P bags on the east. Fantastic.
Well, I mean, it's not the worst. They only get 2 free level ups, so. Alright, let's
true.
Let's see what Fairy's looking like now. He's not gonna stop his he's not gonna check. He's like, whatever it is, it's what I got.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter a ton to him at this point in time. Yeah, I believe we're in a boots hunt, because we've seen... I'm fairly certain we've seen everywhere. We know it's not on the southern coast of the east, and we can't get to the far northern end, and the bridge tile must be up there, so... Yeah, P-bags, and more P-bags is what's up on the east right now.
I know I see a lot of people, a lot of old-time Zelda 2 randomizer enjoyers in chat, but for those who don't know, these dark caves, they light up when you get the candle, and that's kind of an automatic thing. It's not like Zelda 1 where you have to like shoot out some fire, although that would be pretty cool. But if you... It's not as obvious on a stream, but you can actually see most enemies. You can see their like the way their feet move, and you can identify the enemies just by seeing that. It doesn't come across as well on stream because of like compression artifacts and stuff. But they know what they're looking at in these dark caves. Yeah, no, we don't see any Z2 Rando fans, but there's a lot of really cool Crystallis fans here, right? not Crystallis, by the way. Don't let deceivers trick you about that. Yeah, seeing the tiny feet on the Game Boy Advance wasn't going to happen, especially if you had the original Game Boy Advance without the backlight. Not Crystallis.
Red chart for Sawneyrath on the maze is completely junk and very much not a pair of boots. Right color, wrong item. So, we're in... Well, Sawneyrath knows it's boots mode. Chadbert is hunting for what he thinks is a glove, and we know is going to be boots turning into a glove. Those boots could be in any of Palaces 2 through 6. We are missing 3 items on the west. And... Yeah, it's going to be 2 through 6, or one of the remaining items on the west is where this could be. So we might be here a while.
Fun fact about Game Boy Advance and Zelda 2, I believe like a kind of remake of Zelda 2 was like the first game, was like one of the first games that they demoed on the Game Boy Advance hardware.
Oh, that's
to the
pretty
public.
cool.
Yeah, and then they never made it.
That's kind of a shame.
Yeah.
Runners have now switched places in this, because earlier Chadbert was in the bluish P3 or 6, and Sawneyrath was in the reddish one, and now they've switched. Although, actually, okay, whichever one this blue one is, P6 apparently, because here's Revo for Chadbert, cannot have the glove because Chadbert got glove locked out of it earlier.
Well, Chadbert's going to be the first one to put both gems on the board, so that's an advantage. And then, honestly, the hint for Death Mountain shouldn't be that big of an advantage because, like, Death Mountain's a great place to look for items, so if you're trying to find an item, like, that should be one of the first places you go, really.
Yeah, we'll see. It kind of depends, I think, a bit. It might depend a bit on... Well, one of the big things is going to be who finds these boots first, and then how bad is DM, because if it's a vanilla... if it's a Islands DM, or River Canyon DM, Chadbert is just going to go and clear it and promptly find his glove wherever it's at. But if it's one of the... If it's like a vanilla shuffle DM, that might be a little bit trickier, because vanilla shuffle DMs can get kind of trolly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, vanilla
and yes,
DM's
Trails,
terrible.
we've seen a hint that glove is in DM on Sawneyrath's side. It wasn't Rudo, we don't think Chadbert saw it, but we know that the glove is there, and DM is confirmed hard boots blocked. The bridge connector is somewhere on the northern end of the east, and the east is a river canyon. We can't get there without the boots.
I love that. I love the pain. Give me more pain. Doom Knocker. You'll get caught up in the Doom Knocker. Doom Knocker. Doom Knocker. Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of things, Trails, we've seen the item out of 1. We believe our glove locked out of 6, which is what Sawneyrath just left. Chadbert's looking for the item in 3. I think we're missing Sunken Peabag Cave on the east, 3 items on the west.
Yeah,
and we've seen both items out of the maze and New Kasuto, so those are not in the running.
Now, Sonic's first person in this medicine cave. It's pretty much been available since they got out of the starting area.
And a speed deck.
Yeah, that's fine. Ah, no! Yeah, I don't think that was intention.
I don't think so. I think that was they're getting back to the start of the room faster, but not sure. And we do have the item in 6. Well, a 3. That's trophy for Chadbert, which is not quite what he wanted, but might get him to go look for Rudo, which would get him his hint at least, which might not be bad. Unfortunately, I actually don't remember where Rudo is, but that's a different problem anyway.
Yeah, does he have a jump? Can he do the dash jump? Please do the dash jump.
Okay, any key, which is not a pair of boots, but is probably the best thing they could to find that wasn't boots.
True, I haven't seen any keys in the drop pool. Maybe I'm a dummy.
I don't think so either. That goes nowhere. And we are missing Trophy Cave. I'm not sure where it is, but we haven't seen it.
Crossfire could be worse, you know? The little BBs could explode. Or the ball bearings, I guess are not really BBs, are they? But...
And actually, no, I think I might have an idea as to where Trophy Cave is. I think it might be in the swamp. Which is where Sawneyrath's going.
Digging. I'm digging this.
And yep, this should be Trophy Cave right here, which is, yeah, correct. Yay. I'll be honest, I've never heard of Crossfire the game, so I can't comment.
Oh, there's the boots. Another
Aw.
advance of Sony.
That's a little anticlimactic.
Yep. Well, you know what? Honestly, Chadbert going in without the glove, I am here for it. Especially with this color
Could
palette.
actually pay off, yeah. Although it's not going that way, you aren't.
No. It's like, oh, nope.
Or that way.
Do you have to downstep through that? I don't remember. Oh yeah, you do, don't you? You gotta drop there. Yeah, but it would be quite the pull if you get a GP that doesn't require glove and you go in there without the glove. You're gonna pull an incredible time. That's just kind of how it works. But
yeah, Trail's confirming that's 100% glove locked room. That's a nice. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. See, I'm dumb. I don't play video games, Trails. Okay, there's one way. One way left, up and left.
And that's the only way, because both other all the other directions went to it went to glove locks.
Yep. And since he's only got one direction to search, he can kind of expend whatever resources he needs to get through this.
Yeah, I would probably just ferry through this, to be honest. Getting this chicken sandwich is pretty rude. And the ferry is a pretty cheap at Magic 5. It costs only 31. Yeah, that's a lot of chicken in here.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I appreciate dashing through all this nonsense.
Yeah.
He just wants to find out. He just wants to find out, and it makes sense.
Yeah. Here's Hammer Cave for Sawneyrath. Vanilla. This is an Islands DM, so this is going to be a very fast glove wherever it is. Oh, okay.
See what I mean? Oh my god! If Sonny tried to find Dark Link here, it would take him like half an hour. Because this is the last direction to check.
It would, because it's who goes through that room infested with chickens. That's a left.
I mean, unless there's like a loop, but. Oh my god! Thank you, guys. I'm still laughing here, guys. I just pushed the talk on so you didn't hear all of it. Oh my god. It happens sometimes. It does happen sometimes.
Well, and it's a flute and hammer cave.
Oh my god.
But yeah, Sawneyrath is understandably thrown in the towel. And we are joined by Chadbert here. GG's.
Thank you. It sounds like something happened.
You know what happened. You know what you did, sir.
Just dig GP without a glove. I mean, it works like every 35th time or so.
Yeah.
Hey, Sonny, GG.
Hello.
Sonny, I want you to know you were ahead. You were pretty solidly ahead. And, yeah, Chad made the chattiest of plays.
Well, to be fair...
This is the legendary scene, Sawneyrath, where you don't need a glove.
No, that's not a legendary seed in Max Rando. Because
yeah, Max Rando is
many seeds that you
no,
don't
maybe not
need
legendary. This is one of those. It's we're just laughing.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Sonny stole game one from me because I was way ahead, and then I lost Rudo and couldn't find it for 5 minutes, and he was able to beat me by 3. And so this one I stole. It's what we've been doing in practices.
Yeah,
just stealing each other's races.
but yeah, kind of like the big thing is that Sonny started out with he went on the bridge down where in vanilla you get the container, and that gave him an extra magicitator, and then he found another one pretty early on, so he had more comfort casting fairy for most of the game. And then he also went into Rudo earlier, which had the hint for the glove. So he kind of.
I didn't find Rudo. I didn't find
Yeah, I
Rudo.
forget where Rudo was. Somewhere down south, someplace. Don't quite remember where it was. Gloves and DM, which was hard boots locked, and boots were in Trophy Cave, which was in the swamp.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's what happened. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
As it turns out, Sawneyrath, GP is a straight line without a glove.
Well, there were a bunch of places it could have gone if you had the glove.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, it would have been hard. You would have probably last location Darklink if you'd gotten glove and managed to get in there, Sawneyrath, because Darklink, the only path without a glove was a left through a room full of chickens.
Yeah, it's like down, left, up, left, or there might be another left in there. It's like all left, baby.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me because I tend to play lefts in GP, especially when Chad and I are racing.
Although there was a right left to take. There were two
There were
lefts
two rights to take. You just didn't want to take them, or you couldn't take them.
Yeah, exactly. There was one route that he could go through. He checked everything else.
Yeah, he ran into like 3 waffle rooms and another
Yeah,
hard
stab.
glove blocked room.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. I know Max Rando, it's like twice as likely to happen, but that's still like just 2%.
Nightcrawler and I both
Not wrong.
basically died laughing when we saw Darklink.
So I've done the math on it, and it occurs to 9.9% of the seeds almost exactly.
That's not too bad. Did you do that
That's
by
better than I
checking
thought.
the maps after they generated or what?
Mm-hmm. I finally figured out how to use Z2 Edit.
Nice.
Okay, well that's not a terrible percentage, but that's still a hard decision to make. But I mean, in your case, you were there and you had, I see why you did it, of course. But it would have been, if it didn't work out, it would have been a little bit more of a, a little bit more of a step back, unfortunately. But it did work.
Yeah, because if the glove had been required, the seed would have been a lot more up in the air. Because I went into whatever the 3-6 was that I found and attempted to explore it for the boots, so that way I could come to DM, which boots were needed anyway for DM.
Yep, it was an Islands DM, and Spec Rock had the glove. Chadbert, Sawneyrath got to Hammer Cave right as he finished, basically.
If I remember right, I would not have even gone there because I found a hint for the flute in Death Mountain. So that's just like Death Mountain is written off. Hopefully, I would have checked I would have checked
that.
Yeah. So the other one was the flute, and I was just like, if I see Death Mountain, I'm noping out.
That would have been a while then.
Yeah. So it swung hard.
Oh yeah, for sure. We had a bit of a roller coaster ride for us on comms today.
Yeah, it was like trying to play Exodia and Yu-Gi-Oh or something like that. Like that's the way I see it, and sometimes it works out. I'm trying to pretend I'm younger than I am, guys. Okay, just imagine like I'm the young age of like 34. All right.
I mean, I'll hit you with a classic. It's literally the Black Lotus Forest Channel or Black Forest Mountain Channel Fireball.
There you go. if you can afford a Black Lotus, right?
I mean, back in the day you could because it was only $40.
Oh, only.
Compared to the hundreds of thousands now.
Yeah. My dream is to find an old game store somewhere out in the desert that went bankrupt in like 1993 and open all their magic packs.
Yeah, that's fair.
But that was a great race, guys. That was wildly fun to watch. Like throughout the whole game, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was a pretty fun one. Starting off with the oh so fun. Can you cast fairy to get anywhere?
with the encounter that you get on the overworld, the majority of that part of the overworld being empty.
Literally null encounters.
Oh yeah, we noticed.
Uh-huh.
You were wondering because you took that you took that bridge to the island, and that got you the extra magic jar. If that might make a difference, but it ended up not doing so because Fairy dropped to just 61 points at Magic 3. At which point it was a moot point. You could both cast it, but it was a bit of a oh hey funny game.
Yeah. Yeah, the game was playing with your emotions, I think, at the start there.
I mean, the thing that I was the most worried about was it potentially leading into a soft lock because of us not being able to do anything. Since with Max Rando and Vanilla Shuffle, that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
And if it had, I know we would have both asked for a reroll very quickly.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we would have given it to you.
Yeah. It is one of the few ways that you can get invalid seeds, is not being able to get experience points to cast Fairy.
I've rolled 7 in practice so far.
Oh my god. Well, it was
That's
preparing
quite
you
a
for this.
ratio.
And this is probably like the 5th time I've finished one of these seats, these Max Rando seats without the glove.
Nice.
All right.
Especially when
Wow.
you have dash, it can be worth doing the dive, because if you got dash, you can go through it quickly. Maybe you'll find it. Maybe not. Maybe you'll get in a quick set of glove blocks and you're out.
Exactly. You know, dash is super handy for that. You know, just a quick check.
I mean,
Yeah.
literally, you just run in, run out, done.
Yeah, I think that
although-
was 3 minutes at most.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
in GP for something like that. You were in there somewhere past the half-hour marking to finish in 35 minutes, so... Because it was a pretty straight line. You checked a couple different forks, got glove locked in 4 different directions, took that one left through a bunch of chickens, which was slightly dicey there, and then you were done.
Yep.
All right. Well,
We'll schedule the next races soon. Probably schedule them tonight so that we figure out when they are.
I
Yeah.
would add the TM on that soon, but it's
Soon,
not going
yes.
to be the soon TM. We'll probably have games 3 and 4 probably figured out tonight, and then maybe 5 if needed.
Mhm.
sounds good.
We are guaranteed a game 4, though, at least, which, maybe not quite what you wanted, Sawneyrath, but, hey, more Rando.
So having a seed like this is not entirely what I wanted with the red herring. What I
Yeah.
did want has come to pass because neither of us are going to have a true sweep.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
You got
Yep.
you got to have a scrap at the end. You know, you gotta fight for it at the end. That's what makes it fun.
Exactly. Because if this had been a sweep, it definitely wouldn't have been anywhere near as fun.
Mhm. Yeah, but it was a fun game. I can't wait to see your guys' next games too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Hopefully they'll continue to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Unlike that
Back and forth.
disaster practice race of last night. That shall not be talked about ever again.
We're
You
not-
mean
we're not
that-
talking about
Absolutely evil upstart seed? Yeah.
That upstart seed was worse than this by far. By far.
Above and beyond.
Ugh.
All right. Well, I think everyone had fun today, and that's what really matters. Trails is agreeing with you guys, by the way, saying that seed was awful. Lol.
Oh, yeah.
J-Lo too.
That seed had Hammer Cave facing the only cave going left, so it looked like it connected. So when you get to it, I'm like, oh, that's Hammer Cave. Let's check it. And then I'm like, what am I missing? I can't. That was supposed to be the boots, but it wasn't the boots. Couldn't get anywhere because it went further than that cave because that was Hammer Cave. I lost 20 minutes.
Nice. I love these torture seeds. Because I'm watching people get tortured. It's not me.
I was about to say, it's a difference when you're watching versus when you're actually getting tortured.
Oh, I was full on Tiltsville in that one.
Yes.
You were beyond Tiltsville. You were in Tilt Country.
Yes.
Or,
I
as I
actually
like to
walked
call
away
it,
from the
Tilt-a-Stan.
computer when I came over
Tilt-a-Stan, that's
to
good.
GE.
Exploring a vast, uncharted tiltinent.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, Trails is correct. I was after that because I spent probably an extra 10 minutes being lost. But yeah, I placed my first gym after 40 minutes. After
Ooh.
40 minutes.
Wow.
I finished this seed in less time than I got placed the first gym in that one.
That is bad.
Yeah, that seed was just atrocious.
All right. We'll stop talking and let y'all head us out.
Oh, good. Thank you very much again for stopping
absolutely. GG's, and we'll see you another time for Game 3. Game is 3 and 4. So please give both our runners a follow here if you haven't already. Sawneyrath and Chadbert. Thanks so much to Nightcrawler joining me on the commentary, and to JLo for doing the tracking tonight. Always a pleasure. Coming up ahead on the ZSR schedule, this is it for tonight. Hey, we finished before midnight. Probably relatively quiet weekend here. We've got a couple of Majora's Mask. We've got a couple of weekly races, a couple of Wind Waker Randomizer qualifiers, and then couple of Ocarina of Time Randomizer Random Settings League matches. But otherwise, it's a pretty quiet week this right now at ZSR, since we're a bit between tournaments for everywhere, it looks like. So if we keep an eye out on the schedule here and on the Discord, we'll be sure to let you know when we have the next couple of games of finals here, and we look forward to seeing you all then. As a final reminder as well, the Upstairs tournament is coming up very soon here. It is our annual tournament for new players. But which sign-ups are currently open. They'll be closing here in just a few days, and if you'd like to sign up, please do so. We'd be happy to see you all. At the meantime, though, for now, we're going to be heading on out here. Going to raid over to Custom, who is going to be one of our Upstarts player for this year, as part of a pretty large ongoing practice race. We'll see how they're doing with that. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a good night.